How is it all going to play out? 20 minutes. We'll begin here at the drop of the green. We are underway under the lights in Kansas for the ASRL Sports Car Championship, barreling down towards the end of the grass here. The drivers will start to make their way left. 3 wide, a big dive here to the inside from Gavin Sanders. Oh, big contact there. Brody Gunter into the side of Hunter Engrave, who is now swung into the inside of Gavin Sanders. Battling side by side for first, and spin! Around goes Eric Coons.
Wow, lots of action early on here.
That was actually not Eric Coons, that was...
I think it was Josh Hagee.
Josh Hagee, yes, that was Josh Hagee. He has brought it back in the middle of the battle for the GT4s. Right now, J.J. Wang has the top spot. For the GT4s, Jarrell Williams from the pole has dropped all the way back to 4th. As Gavin Sanders from 3rd leading the way, Brody Gunter, Hunter Engrave. The apron is inbounds. You're going to see the drivers probably using the apron here at some point during this race. That is inbounds. Sanders again, closing in on Gunter. This time side by side, Sanders looking to the outside, going to try and take the long way around and makes it work.
Wow.
Sanders back to the point.
That was a great move. That's what we talked about. He's had some opportunities to see what works and what doesn't.
Sanders going to keep the inside, nearly wheel to wheel. Gunter sends it deep, trying the outside move. Going to make it stick. Gunter back to the lead.
Wow, this is an epic battle for the lead here. A battle for the GT4 lead right now. Jarrell Williams sends it around the outside like we've seen from the GT3 cars. Not quite able to make it stick, but good drive off here.
JJ got a bit hung up there, and Jarrell Williams going to make it stick now. Jarrell Williams to the lead, and we are in GT4 traffic here for the leaders of the GT3. Another wrinkle.
It is heavy in front of them as well. There is a... Oh my goodness!
Nate Morris into Gavin Sanders. Nate Morris sails it off in there and plows into Gavin Sanders. Brody Gunter and Hunter Engrave are well away. Corey Rutherford was running 3rd in the GT4s. He had a packet loss disconnection, and he is reconnecting now. But here we go again for the lead now in the GT3s. 1 player short. As Gunter loose. Engrave, patience might be paying off. Gunter going to get the drive off. But Engrave is here, and so is Kevin Bonomi. Bonomi, a player here for the first time in the battle for the lead.
In the GT4 class,
Engrave to the lead.
J.J. Wang has gotten back around Jarrell Williams.
There's so much going on.
Too much to watch here.
Going to be awfully close whether or not this is the white flag lap, as Gunter and Bonomi battling side by side for second. Contact! Bonomi goes around. Well, once the door opened up for Hunter Engrave, he never looked back. Patiently waited, and Hunter Engrave is going to take his 3rd checkered flag in a row here in the ASRL Sports Car Championship. The dash goes to Engrave. J.J. Wang, victory well in hand for him here as well. J.J. Wang out of turn 4, and through the tri-oval, he rights the ship after 2 second places. Last time out at Monza, it's P1 for J.J. The 12 of Alex Allen starting to his outside. We are underway. We barrel towards turn number 1 again.
And you see him fanning out early here.
4 wide.
Wow.
Is that going to work? No. 3 wide. 3 wide.
And Alex Howland got the worst of it. He got caught in the middle, had to slow way down. Oh, big contact.
Big problems there. That was Peyton and Coons, I do believe. Schlosser to the lead. Corey Rutherford.
Oh, there's another spin.
Another spin. I think that's Brody Gunter.
It is. That's Brody Gunter.
Oh, and they're crashing into the GT4s all around. There's chaos and carnage galore.
Nick Batista's run into Gunter there in the hairpin.
Matt Schlosser leading the GT3s. Corey Rutherford was the leader, but he is off now. Rutherford has given up the lead to Rene Garcia. Ken Estep, actually. Estep to the lead.
My goodness.
Oh, man. For the transition from the infield to the oval. But Bonomi fends him off, at least for now.
Yeah, Sanders trying to hang out on the inside. He does. Oh, a big send.
Lock up. Schlosser around. Exactly what happened to Sanders last time. This time, Sanders the culprit. And Bonomi on the right side of it this time. Kevin Bonomi to the lead. Josh Heggie through the second. Sanders in deep. Bonomi a shallow entry. Sanders is here. Sanders to the lead. So Alfred Sanders, Bonomi, Engrave, and Heggie all right here together.
Yeah, these 5 cars are all very close here. With the help of the draft, this could really tighten up.
Awkward spot here with a GT4 in the mix. Bonomi not going to get his line. Sanders going to try and thread the needle. He's boxed in.
No!
Here's Sanders around. Tags Batista as well. And from 4, we go down to 2.
Wow, Sanders again gets taken out.
Is the driver who will be heading to victory lane for the first time with the ASRL Sports Car Championship. Kevin Bonomi is a winner. And behind them, coming through the tri-oval now, it is a second victory on the season for Jarrell Williams in the GT4s.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight up in here now. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
And now, our feature presentation.
「 Now, our feature presentation.
「  Now, our feature presentation. 」 «
Now, our feature presentation. 」 «
」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « 」 « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « « «
」
And now, our feature presentation.
Good evening, folks. This is Matt Williamson. No, it's not Tommy Cook introducing you to the stream here tonight. We are here at Lime Rock Park for the Aleworks Brewery Grand Prix of Lime Rock. This race sponsored by Casey Campbell here for the American Sim Racing League. And tonight I have with me a very special guest, Mr. Matt Houston from Raceverse. Matt, it's the first time we've had the opportunity to be on the call together here, and great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good to have me here, joining with Turn 200. Know you guys from being on Raceverse and racing on you guys with the Raceverse team, but good to be here at Lime Rock Park. A lot of the sports car drivers in the northeast of the country, this is their home track. So if we have anybody in the series here that's from them, around here, then they're going to be loving this place.
Yeah, and this is also one of the tracks that you kind of get thrown into when you first get on the service as well. So probably a track that pretty much everybody's at least somewhat familiar with here. But we're going to go ahead and look at the point standings after last week. A crazy couple of races at the Roval there at Kansas. But let's take a look at the points here in the GT3 class. Brody Gunter is leading that class. Of course, the champion from last season as well, where it was only a GT3 field. Now it's split. Johnny Alford is there in second with Josh Hagee, Kevin Bonomi, and Matt Schlosser rounding out the top five there in that class. In the GT4s, Drell Williams has really come on strong, finally got that win a couple of weeks ago, and has continued to do well ever since. Ken Estep, Nick Batista, Corey Rutherford, and Rene Garcia round out the top five in the GT4 class. And we are getting ready to go racing here. Qualifying is over. We are hitting the grid, and let's find out who our starters are here tonight.
Yeah, so Brody Gunter is gonna took that fast lap. He's gonna start P1. Gavin Sanders on the outside in P2. Mike Pepper P3. Bonami there in fourth. Hunter Engrave, his teammate, in fifth. Although I'm not sure they're actually teammates because they're both in GT3. Matt Short making a debut here tonight in sixth. Josh Hagee in seventh. We've got Kevin Burrows, Johnny Alford, Matt Schlosser, rounding out the top 10. Eric Kuntz, Brian Dees, Josh Rutherford, Dave Payton, Alex Howland, rounding out the field. And I think that is all of us. We've got a wild Caleb Bency, but he's not going to be starting here tonight because he's got to do race control over in for you broadcast on Monday over in the Formula Super Series. So over in the GT4s, we've got JJ Wang strong here. I know JJ's really good here in at Lime Rock. One of the tracks that just really takes well with him. Ken Estep in second there in GT4s. Rene Garcia, Nick Batista, Christopher Flick, Corey Rutherford, Jarrell Williams, and Fred Thompson. Also, Casey Campbell and Nate Morris taking no qualifying here for some reason, but hey, that's your strategy call. Jarrell Williams just wants to just wants to survive this one. He was our points leader, isn't he? Yes, he is our GT4 points leader. So, take it back to you.
Yeah, Drell Williams is the points leader. He also mentioned Caleb Bency not going to be with us here tonight. That's unfortunate, just getting a little bit of practice in. But we got our 20-minute dash coming up here first. They do get one fast repair here should they need it. It's going to be around 23, 24 laps here for the dash race. But a couple of our points leaders starting back a little bit farther in the field than they would have liked to with either bad qualifying or not qualifying at all. And they don't have that many more opportunities to get points. We have 2 opportunities tonight, and then we're going to have 2 more opportunities next week, and that will settle the championship. So we need to get the points while we can here.
Well, and they bring us down on the Sam Posey straightaway, renamed recently for Sam Posey, and we have a green flag. Brody Gunter gonna bring us inside into turn 1. Gavin Sanders on the outside, followed by, I believe that's Bonami on the outside, and who do we have on? It's actually Mike Pepper there in the pink car. Matt Short going to be in 6th. Back in GT4, some battling between. Okay, a GT. I think that was a GT3 car getting around JJ Wang there. Not sure who that is. We got some contact into the chicane there.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a trouble spot here throughout the night, most likely. Rene Garcia was able to get around JJ Wang there in the GT4 class, so JJ is going to be on the chase now, but you mentioned he's very good around here, and he's really shown that he's pretty good just about anywhere in that GT4 car. He's been battling very hard since he's joined the championship.
Rene Garcia had a little bit of a wide exit of the final corner, and JJ is going to take advantage of that. JJ in the race first car there, mind you. Lucky Strikes race first car. Almost forgot that he's my teammate here, but because I haven't been racing here very much for at least a month. So, but back up to our GT3 field. We've got Brody Gunter still in the commanding lead, about a half second ahead of Gavin Sanders. So yeah, this is a track that is very, very difficult to pass. They added that chicane on the back straightaway for when IMSA was running some prototypes here. This was back when IMSA was running for the ALMS, American Le Mans Series. So yeah, this is a pretty small track for a major prototype to be running, but they added that chicane and repaved it, the entire track for those cars. So yeah, we've got this updated version here in iRacing because of that.
On a couple of problems for Josh Hagee, he was off into the grass on that final corner, and now off into the grass again through that sweeping left-hander.
Taking a long run through the grass here. He sounds like he's almost down on power to me. So he's getting back on the track. We'll see what happens.
Here comes a pass for position. Down into turn one. Kevin Bonomi is going to take it. Mike Pepper now has Hunter Engrave behind him as well. Engrave looking to move forward.
Yeah, good move there. Yeah, so this is really where you've got to time all of these passes with that GT4 traffic there. A little bit of contact between a GT4 and Kevin Bonomi there.
Yeah, and that was Casey Campbell, who he's down in the 24th position overall, sitting, I think, 10th there in the GT4 class.
Yeah, he's doing what he can just to kind of stay off the, stay out of people's way. He was the sponsor of this track, I believe, for this pick. I think I saw.
Yeah, he was. He's the Aleworks Brewery Grand Prix of Lime Rock, sponsored by Casey Campbell. So thank you to Casey for sponsoring the race here tonight.
Looks like back in GT4, I'm just looking at, so JJ Wang still ahead of Rene Garcia, about a second ahead.
That closest battle here in the GT4s is Nick Batista and Ken Estep. This is a battle for a podium position here. Ken Estep's been really consistent as of late, put together some good runs, and he's in the top 5 in the points.
Yeah, being followed by the Nick Batista there. Now, I'm trying to remember what track it was. Nick Batista was the sponsor of a track earlier this season. I thought it was a pretty good pick. I have to double check what that would be, though. But I'll just have to research that when we can. A lot of the drivers here in this series do sponsor tracks. So, like their picks for their home tracks or just tracks that they like.
Yeah, and I think it's great. It's not something that a whole lot of
we got Casey Campbell off right in front of our GT4 leader. There might have been a little bit of contact there.
And he's completely sideways
yes,
here.
He is. So, yeah, we're going to have to look at JJ Wang might have taken some damage there. Will it be... I saw bodywork come off on that car, but it looks okay to me. I don't see any damage on JJ's on the front of his car and his hood or anything. So might have just been some body work from Casey's car, or it wasn't Casey. Who was it again?
Yeah, I believe it was Casey that went around.
Oh,
there.
okay. Okay, Mike Pepper. Did he have an issue? Because you got Kevin Bonami went around him. Another good battle is Mike Pepper and Hunter Engrave for 4th and 5th. In fact, Engrave going to go inside down the Sam Posey straight into turn 1. He's going to take over that position.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the main passing points here. Get a little bit of a draft down that Sam Posey straight into turn 1. You mentioned very difficult to pass here around Lime Rock. That's certainly, I think, the main passing point here around this course.
Yeah, so that exit of the final corner is turn 9 here as they're coming up to some traffic there.
Bonomi, he gets caught up with a GT4 car. He's going to lose that position that he just gained.
Yeah.
Engrave's going to go through.
Yeah, it was some heads-up driving there by Hunter Engrave.
And all of a sudden, we have a pass for the lead coming as well from Gavin Sanders. Boy, this is tightened up quick with traffic.
That's what people like about sports car racing is, we've got a slow car. Gavin had to go off, or no, that was that's Brody Gunter.
Yeah, Gunter had to go off. I don't know. I couldn't tell if there was much damage there. The front of the car looks pretty clean. Fortunately, able to hang on to the spot, or I guess gain the spot back, rather.
Under pressure from Gavin Sanders, though. He takes it wide in turn 8, I believe. Gavin Sanders going to go through. Oh, Brody Gunter is going to have to pit.
Oh, so maybe a meatball flag. Must be some sort of...
Yeah, because I'm not seeing any damage on my end, so...
Yeah, I'm not seeing any actual physical damage graphically either, but sometimes the sim's a little bit funny. You get a wheel that gets knocked really out of position or something, and it's going to give you a meatball flag, so something we might not be able to see, but wow, that is not good news for Brody Gunter, who's your points leader in the GT3s coming into tonight. He's going to give up a lot of points here in the sprint race. He's going to need to try to make that up in that feature.
Yeah, really unfortunate for him. I have to wonder, one thing we have to deal with when a league runs a race on a iRacing patch day is bugs and things like that just we didn't have, say, yesterday. Because I'm just wondering, I'm not really seeing many cars with any damage on them. So I'm wondering if this is, just an iRacing thing. It's not showing damage. Maybe I keep an eye out for that as this night goes on.
Yeah, it could certainly be possible. I know a lot of the cars that have been close to bumping and banging as Sanders is going to get caught up a little bit here. This is, I believe, Rene Garcia, who is second place in the GT4 class. Oh, and Sanders way off there as well, but able to keep it going. He's going to have JJ Wang in front of him here to work through.
Yeah, and JJ has actually built up about a 3-second lead over Rene here. As the leader is coming up on him, he's going to go through.
Pass for position in the GT3 class. Matt Short, he's made up a couple positions here. He's right behind Mike Pepper. This would be to get to the 4th spot.
Yeah, Pepper's just kind of dropped back a little bit from that battle between Kevin Bonami and Hunter Engrave. Just keeping an eye on that. Gavin Sanders still in the lead there. Looking at other close battles on the track. be Alex Howland and Josh Rutherford. Yeah, there's still a pretty good size gap between them. And so I think it's just a matter of with about how much time do we have left in this? We're about 8 minutes through. No required pit stop or anything like that in this one. The feature will have one.
Yeah, we got about 9 minutes left here.
So Brody Gunter had to take that pit stop. He is back out. But he's actually not that. He's still on the lead lap and everything like that, even though this is a short lap. So I think he's going to be able to... Oh, we've got another car around. I'm not sure who that is in the chicane. It appeared to be a GT4.
Yeah, it's actually a GT3. It's Eric Coons.
Oh, okay.
Eric Coons is going to drop pretty far back here in the GT3 class. Only Josh Hagee is behind him.
Did we see any contact on that? No, and I didn't quite, unless he backed it in just a little bit, but still not seeing any damage on that car, so...
Yeah, he got off into the grass when he was coming up the hill there. And then, yeah, it's just a cell spin. Just gets in way too hot there and into the corner. No contact with the wall or anything.
Just a little bit of a rear brake lockup probably into that chicane. Probably a little bit too late on the brakes. Misses braking point maybe. And around you go.
And speaking of Josh Hagee, we said was the only GT3 car that was behind Eric Coons at that point. He's working through some GT4 traffic. Just got around Rene Garcia.
Yeah, it looks like he on track anyway. Is that behind Matt Schlosser? Yeah, it does appear to be that way. And Matt is in 7th position. Another Matt. This is like the Matt show here tonight.
Yeah, if he gets on the podium, we're going to have a party up here.
Yeah. Do we do? I can't remember. Do we do? Yeah, we do an inverse grid after this race, right?
We certainly do. GT4s do still start behind the GT3s, but it is a class invert.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting when that comes up.
It always shakes things up, especially at a place like Lime Rock here, where it's just so narrow. There's not too many places to get around your competitors. We've already seen it wreak havoc here tonight with lap traffic between classes, but I think when we invert the field, we're going to have traffic amongst classes as well, and that's going to be interesting to play out.
Yeah, I was racing with the guys earlier this season. It's like a lot of the tracks that we've gone to are really difficult to pass lap traffic at. I'm thinking of Sonoma, for instance. That's a difficult one. But this at Lime Rock is just something else. It's even more difficult. This is probably, of the tracks we've went to, this is like probably the worst, the one that's most difficult for getting through lap traffic.
And speaking of getting through lap traffic, Gavin Sanders is trying to navigate something right now. Just got around one, and he has quite a few cars in front of him.
Ooh, that lap traffic out into the grass a little bit. I thought they might make a mistake, but this is actually an iRacing thing that's happened. This is like last build, not the one that came out today, but that grass is way more grippy than it used to be. It used to be like ice out there. It's still not. It's not like the tarmac there, but there's way more grip out there than there used to be in the grass. You don't immediately see cars go around and loop it as soon as they touch it.
Ooh, boy, Brody Gunter, he just made a pass on Brian Deese, and there was a GT4 car sitting right on the inside of that turn. That was that could have been really dangerous, but he's able to get that pass completed. So trying to work his way through the field here, pick up some more of those points that he lost earlier when he had to come down pit road.
Yeah, so now he's got the GT4 class leader ahead of him, but JJ's in the GT4 is going to know kind of what to do and got right out of the way. But yeah, Brody Gunter just he's coming through the field. That's up to 9th after having to take that pit for a fast repair.
Yeah, the good thing for him is Johnny Alford is the driver that's right behind him in the points, and Alford's only 3 spots ahead of him right now, so he can maybe pick off another one. Kevin Burrows is quite a few seconds in front, but even as they sit now, Gunter's not going to lose too many points here in the dash race, even after having to come down pit road there. So that is the one good thing he's got going for him.
I'm trying to find if there's any other close battle out here.
Oh, Christopher Flick is off.
Yeah, that's before the chicane. Oh, he's right in front of some. Oh boy!
Wow,
that wasn't the leader, was it? No, it wasn't. Okay, I was like, whoa.
And also, I'm not sure what happened to Ken Estep, but Ken Estep is back here in 6th position now. Was up there in 3rd.
Yeah, that's too bad for Ken there. He was in the podium position.
Yeah, Ken, he's usually one of the smoothest drivers out there. He's the model of consistency usually. That's what's gotten him to being 2nd in the points in the GT4 class right now. And I'm not sure what happened, if it was a mistake on him or maybe some traffic got together with him. Not quite sure, but looking for him to do better here in the feature race in a few minutes.
Well, I got one bone to pick with Ken out here. He took my number when I was signing up for this league, but I'm just joking. I think he's been part of this league way before I joined this league as a driver, so he's certainly welcome to have that number. We probably have it for different reasons too.
Yeah, and he's done well here this season. I believe he has a race win at some point, maybe a couple. I know we've talked him on the podium a few times.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any wins on his chart there, but he is 2nd in the points in the GT4. So, and this is with, as far as I can tell, Gerald Williams is not in the race here tonight. That's. Am I correct in saying that? Like, he's literally. Yeah, he's not. He didn't start, so...
You are right. I'm not sure what happened. He was here for practice, but did not put a qualifying time in and has not come back out on the track for the sprint race.
Okay.
Either.
Yeah, so he had a couple of packet loss issues. We were talking about that in the pre-race, that, occasionally we have these nights where, people have, we call it mechanical issues in iRacing, but technical issues really with their internet. So,
yeah, unfortunately, we were talking beforehand. Tommy and I have mentioned in the broadcast the last week or so, we've had quite a few issues with connections here in multiple of our series over the last couple of weeks. So, unfortunately for Jarrell Williams, it's coming up and biting him tonight as well. And quite literally the most inopportune time. He's sitting here with the points lead coming into tonight, and hopefully he can make it back for the feature race and at least get some points out of tonight.
Yeah, I can't imagine, like, this time of year, it's not a lightning strike or anything like that, right?
I guess you never know. Could be a car takes out a pole and you're out of internet. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. Yeah, it certainly could be that. Yeah, you hate when that happens as the broadcaster, though. Yeah, that is not fun.
Yeah, it's never good to see that, especially when you know you're going to have a points battle coming into an evening and you want to keep track of it. It's never good for somebody to just not even be able to race. It's not a great feeling. And the person that wants to battle them, they want to battle. They don't want to just take it either. So it's not good for anybody.
Well, hopefully you can get back for the feature race, and of course we do have next week where we're going to be at the Nürburgring Grand Prix. But we've got one more race to go before that in the feature here. But you go ahead, Matt.
Well, we are down to the zeros, so this will be the final lap. Gavin Sanders coming down to a chicane to go uphill. Has a 5-second lead over Hunter Engrave. Really no close battles on the track right now. Everybody started to get spread out here. But Sanders needed to work around some traffic. Has a close call there.
Yeah, he was not happy about that one. I saw the light flash. I do believe that Gavin might have painted this car himself. Either that or Caleb did it.
Well, it's looking good nonetheless, and looking good taking the checkered flag here in the sprint race. Another race win for Gavin Sanders this season. And JJ Wang is going to take the checkers here in the GT4 class. He has won a lot of dash races here since he's joined the league, and he's going to pick up another one. So we will be talking to JJ Wang and Gavin Sanders after our break. We'll let this finish out and get to the finishing order here in just a moment.
All right.
We may get to these results. There they are. Here's the results for the dash race here. This is the GT3 class. Gavin Sanders takes the race win. Hunter Ingrave comes in second. And rounding out the podium, it's Kevin Bonomi. In fourth, Mike Pepper. Matthew Short rounds out the top five. Johnny Alford, Matt Schlosser, Kevin Burrows, Brody Gunter, Brian Deese, Joshua Rutherford, Alex Howland, Eric Coons, Josh Hagee, Dave Payton, and Caleb Benson did not start the race. So 15 starters there in the GT3 class. And looking at the GT4 class, JJ Wang takes another dash victory. Rene Garcia, Nick Batista round out the podium. Corey Rutherford, good run from Corey there to finish fourth. Nate Morris, Ken Estep with some problems. He's going to finish sixth. Christopher Flick, Fred Thompson, Casey Campbell will round out the starters. Unfortunately, Terrell Williams, like we mentioned, not able to start the race. So hopefully he'll be able to make it back. We're going to have a quick break here, and we will be back with the GT4 and GT3 class winners from the dash race.
Tonight's coverage of the ASRL Sports Car Championship from Lime Rock Park is presented by DN Transportation, taking you wherever you need to go. MF Racing Design, who sponsor the 00 Challenge Award. Lone Dutchman Racing, who provide the Pole Award as well as the Keep Digging Award. Whiplash Sim Cams, which provide the broadcast camera package. And Mullet Music Productions, who provide the theme song to the ASRL Sports Car Championship.
Alrighty, folks, we are back live, and we are here with the winner of the GT4 Dash race. That is Mr. J.J. Wang. Gets another Dash victory. You've been racking up some wins here, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Yeah, I'm definitely got the sprint ones down, but I want to try to aim for the feature this time around.
Yeah, most certainly. With the invert, seems like it may be a little difficult here tonight. Matt and I were talking about how difficult it seems to make passes here around Lime Rock.
Yeah, I'll mention it now. I think one thing I love about the Aston versus the other GT4s is I just feel like it has a really good high-speed rotation. And I think you might have saw it with me and Renee, where the BMW has, I think you probably saw it all season too. There's like just the slow corners, there's like the slight edge for the other GT4s. But in just high-speed sections, like getting this car rotated is beautiful. So I was able to use that momentum to get past Renee. Credit to him, he gave me space, raced really fair. We did rub slightly, but just normal GT racing. And I think that's going to be how it's done today. It's final two sets of corners is I feel like my car is beautiful in. Not so much the first sector, but as long as I manage that, then it shouldn't be too bad. But we'll see. This is a really hard track to pass, as you saw with the PMR. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, we're looking forward to watching you work your way through the field. Is there anybody you'd like to thank here?
Yeah, big thanks to your booth mate, Houston, for bringing me on. It's a great race team. Sharing a garage with Gavin, Eric, and Matt Short, of course. They're great guys to run with. And just happy to try and fill in Gavin's shoes for a little bit in the GT4s.
Well,
Make
we
sure
appreciate
to tell Matt Short about that. Rub it in his nose about you winning another race.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we appreciate you, partner. Good luck in the feature.
Thanks so much.
Alrighty, and then we will bring up the GT3 class winner from the Dash race. And it's not used to doing this. This is usually Tommy's job.
Oh, okay. I can probably do it.
It's all right. I got it.
Hard to drag, though.
Alrighty, we are here with the winner of the GT3 class in the Dash race. That is Gavin Sanders.
Hello.
Well, it was a bit of an interesting one out there. We were watching you try to work your way through some traffic. Seemed to be a little hairy out there.
Yeah, I think Brody was very quick, but unfortunately ran into some GT4s that might have been just backwards in the middle of the road, and that doesn't always go well. But yeah, no, this track is all just patience and positioning and the whole thing, right? So the more under control and calm you are, these races feel like, oh, I could just set it up this corner and I'm going to win the race. It's going to be great. And then you realize there's like 25 more laps left in a 19-minute race. So it kind of plays its hand in all sorts of weird ways, but really cool to finish one of these after the calamity that's been the last couple of ASRLs for me. And I guess we'll see how the feature goes as well.
Yeah, well, you've been racking up some wins here. You started out winning in the GT4 class, and now we're starting to rack some up here in the GT3 class. How are we feeling about our chances working through the traffic here in the feature and making your way back up to the front?
Feeling pretty good about that. Traffic is one of my favorite things to deal with. It just kind of it's a big chess game, especially at a place like this. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we'll hopefully chit chat with you here after this gets done.
Well, we certainly hope so. Matt, you got anything here for Gavin?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're going to have to catch Brody Gunter, who's going to be starting up there. Yeah, so that's kind of it's going to be tough.
It'll be interesting for sure, but I mean, 40 minutes will a lot's gonna play out. So
yeah,
no matter what, I know I'll be chatting with Matt at some point. Wait, you're both Matt, but whatever. You know what I meant.
We
Alrighty.
need parents with more creative first name choices.
Alrighty, partner. We'll appreciate you, and good luck here in the feature race.
Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, Matt. We've heard from the race winners in the dash race. What are you expecting here from the feature?
Yeah, I think we're going to see kind of what I mentioned there with Gavin is we're going to see Brody Gunter starting in a pretty prime position, but we've already seen him have some issues with, getting around traffic or lapped cars. So, maybe he might have learned something from that race on what not to do, that whatever calamity he got into there where he had to get that pit. With that said, though, and we do have a pit in this race. So if somebody does have damage and they get to, the point where, the fueling point where they can make that pit for that fast repair and take that fast repair with their fuel, then it won't really be the end of the world if they can do that.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see pit strategy play out here, figuring out when you need to pit to maybe stay away from traffic, or I'm not sure there's really staying away from any traffic here tonight. But nonetheless, it's always interesting to see how that plays out as we are getting ready to start the feature race. Matt, why don't you go ahead and give us the rundown here?
Yeah, let me see if I can get our grid for this one. So in the GT3, we're going to have Dave Payton starting first, it looks like. Can I just double check that just to make sure I have the correct one there?
Yes, you are right. Caleb Bensey's not
all
here, so it will be Dave Payton.
So Dave Payton, Josh Hagee's going to be in P2. I think that Eric Kuntz is disconnected, so he's not back. Alex Howland, Josh Rutherford, Brian Dees, Brody Gunter, that's who I was talking about, is going to have that prime position as a DNF, or not DNF in the last race, but having that pitting from second position, first position. And Gavin Sanders is going to be all the way at the back. Over there in the GT4s, though, we've got Casey Campbell and Ted Thompson going to be on that front row. We saw them getting lapped a lot in that last race, so those GT4 cars are going to be right on, their bumper right at the start of the race. That's going to be interesting to see. And JJ Wang, Rene Garcia, Nick Batista, those fast guys in GT4 are going to have to come through those drivers.
Yeah, when you have this much action to watch, as I think we're going to have here, seeing some faster drivers trying to work through traffic at a track that it's just not easy to do. It's hard to keep your eye on everything. Tommy and I always have a hard time figuring out whether we need to watch the GT3 class leaders or the GT4 class and see who's out there in front. But I think one thing's for certain, we're in for a wild one here. In a little bit of a different capacity than last week at the Kansas Roval. But it's going to get wild. It's going to get crazy, and we're gearing up. They got a lot of laps here. This is by far the most laps we're going to run in a feature race here for the entire season.
Yeah, that's something that Gavin was saying there. I kind of, I didn't really think about it in the way that he put it. Is like how he said, there's 19 minutes left in the race or whatever it might be, but, there's going to be 20 plus laps to go. That's a lot of laps. So, yeah. The other thing I was going to mention was, pardon me, but I forgot where I was going with that one.
That's quite all right. I think they ran almost 30 laps just in the dash race. So
so we're looking at 60 laps then. Here's what I was going to say is that you're going to be looking at the front of the field. I'm going to be looking at Gavin Sanders and how he makes it through this field, and if he comes up to any calamity. As we have our green flag. Slow into turn one.
Oh, wow. Looks like a little bit of contact up front here already with Josh Hagee and Dave Payton.
There was a lot of bumper action in quite a bit of the field there.
No surprise after what we saw there in the dash race. Everybody trying to get spread out here.
So Hagee inside in the chicane. Hagee has shown. Whoa!
Oh no! Big contact there with Dave Payton.
Dave Payton's still going, though. I don't even know what happened there. He took a mad bounce from that sausage curb there at the chicane and just turned left.
Yeah, and Schlosser was able to get out in front, but Brody Gunter put the pedal down, and he has now gotten to the front of the field already. Not what Gavin Sanders wanted to see, but Sanders himself has started working his way through quickly as well.
Yeah, he's in about 5th or 6th already in the class, so he's not that far back. He's working on Alex Howland ahead of him, but as you said, Brody Gunter in the lead now, early on.
And back here in the GT4 class, Christopher Flick has taken over the lead. Ken Estep is to 2nd, so Ken really looking to rebound here from the dash race. And JJ already to 3rd. Rene Garcia was in front of him, and Rene is in 5th, so JJ's really got it going here right now.
Yeah, there was a lot to follow in that GT3 battle that we might have missed a little bit in the GT4 there, but we got Ken in P1 and Flick P2 and JJ already up to P3.
Here comes Sanders for another pass for position here. That is by Joshua Rutherford.
Yeah, it looks like all the winners here we had in the heat race or in the sprint race. They're really looking to take advantage early on here.
Yeah, and they've done a good job. I wasn't sure. I kind of felt like maybe this would be a course that they might have had to be a little bit more patient just because of the tight confines, but doesn't seem to have been a problem for most of them.
Yeah, we were really hinting at that being a thing, but it doesn't seem like it's developed. Yeah, Sanders is going to want to... Well, he's gotten up to... let's see here.
Yeah, he's up to 4th already.
Yeah, so, okay, he's got it around... okay, so he's got Matt Short ahead of him. So he Short and Schlosser there, they're not going to be easy to get by. So we'll see how much of a lead Gunter can, gap here. With Gavin trying to get around Short and Schlosser up there.
Yeah, Gunter just took the lead 2 or 3 laps ago here. He's already over 2 seconds in front of Schlosser, and it's another second back to Short, and then Sanders, who is not far behind Matt Short. He's going to be looking for a pass here.
Yeah, it looks like Short knew that battle was just going to slow him down, and didn't make it much of one.
And JJ Wang, big contact here in the GT4 class. JJ Wang's gotten to the front in a couple corners.
Wow, yeah, Chris Flick around. Seeing what happened there.
Yeah, certainly some
really...
contact. Well, I'm going to try to go back and look at a replay of that one. But yeah, certainly some contact. Ken Estep's going to keep that 2nd position. Corey Rutherford now gets up to a podium position. Yeah,
it looks like Flick had contact with Ken, and it looked like Ken kind of got away with it, but Chris there got completely spun there.
Oh yeah, and
another GT4 involved with that, but they got through it pretty clean as well.
Yeah, Chris, a little bit of a problem there through the chicane, heading uphill. And then JJ sticks it 3 wide. He sees the opportunity and wants to take it, and he does. And then, yeah, Christopher, some more contact there with Ken. He's going to end up going around.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for him, but... hey, we've got a long race here, a lot of traffic to deal with. A lot of cars are going to have to keep it clean for another, about 30 minutes left in this one, and yeah, that's going to be difficult.
Most certainly. Gavin Sanders, he's on the move. He's already caught up to Matt Schlosser, but looking for a way around. Schlosser is a tough pass here. We'll go on board with Sanders. looking at
And he
this rear
does have
bumper.
Short right behind him. Oh, as
Slosser through the
Slosser,
grass.
and that's going to have Sanders and Short go through into second and third. So that's Gavin Sanders is going to focus in on Brody Gunter then for a second time. Let's see how big of a gap lead it's become about 5 seconds, so that's a lot to overcome. But it's certainly doable for Gavin there, but it's going to be a lot about when, they hit traffic.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sanders hopefully is going to have some time to have an open track here. But like you said, Gunter, he's been able to really extend that lead. He extended that lead by 3 seconds in just a few laps. So he's on the move right now, but Sanders now with not as much traffic to work through, he's looking to put in some good laps here.
And just to mention, I see, Kenny Estep. I'm not sure if there was actually contact there with Casey Campbell, but it was certainly close.
Yeah, I had to dip some tires off into the grass. I think just made an evasive maneuver, no contact, but that's what the drivers have been dealing with here tonight, and they are not even close to done. They still got 32 minutes left to keep these suckers clean and bring them home.
Something interesting that I just noticed, though, is Jarrell Williams has connected over in the lobby here, and so I'll be curious to see if he, comes on out. As long as he drives out and makes a lap, he'll be counted in the points here, so that's important for his championship.
Yeah, most certainly at this point. You got to try to get, every point matters. I think his lead was 18 points, I believe, coming into tonight. So Ken, who's sitting in second, can certainly make up quite a few points here.
Looking at the battle for the GT3 lead, though, Gavin has brought that down, like you were saying. He, Brody Gunter up there in P1, he caught some traffic, and now Gavin is dealing with that same traffic. So we'll see if if that time he's gained, if he's able to keep that time, or does he return back to that 5 second gap we saw earlier. I think it's still looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's always fun to see the lead expand and shrink as they catch traffic. You think somebody's making a big run, and then all of a sudden that car that's in second, they catch the same traffic and they move backwards a second or two. So it's always fun to see how that develops.
Yeah, as JJ Wang goes another lap down, but that's not that's not his race. That is he is the GT4 leader.
Closest battle on the track right now is between Hunter Engrave and Kevin Bonomi. This will be for a top 5 in the GT3 class.
Yeah, this is Hunter blinking, flashing his lights at Kevin Bonomi. Both driving the Porsche in the GT3 here. Yeah, they look like they're driving each other a little bit wide there, but you can make up those kinds of small mistakes, at least in some of the corners here. Not the end of the world, as long as it's not in that chicane or that final corner.
Certainly, but you see how hard they're pushing each other here. Causes Bonomi to go wide, now have some traffic in front of them to go through. That's Corey Rutherford. He's third in the GT4 class at the moment. Oh, and Ken Estep off the track there in the final corner coming down the straight.
Looks like he keeps it alive, though. Keeps it on the straight. He's just using all the track that he can. We do have an incident limit here in the series, though, so you got to watch out for those off tracks. They can add up, and then you end up serving a black flag penalty, and then you get a few more after that, and you get DQ'd. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's a great point, Matt. You know, we usually don't see it in the dash race, so we didn't really mention it, but you are right. Here in the feature, it's quite prevalent. And with as many laps as we have to run as Bonomi and Engrave, they're working through Ken Estep. A little bit of a close call there, but yeah, when you're running so many laps around here, if you have one spot in particular that's a problem area, you dip a tire off a lot of times, that can be your disqualification right there.
I mean, I can speak from personal experience. Whatever the last race I was, I'm not exactly sure what I ran, but I did get DQ'd in that race. Oh, it was the New Jersey Motorsports Park. That was the last race I did, and I just yeah.
There were a few drivers. There were a few drivers that got DQ'd in that one.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Hunter Engrave was able to get around Kevin Bonomi. Right there, they're working through JJ Wang, your leader there in the GT4s. JJ, he has about a 3.8 second gap back to Ken Estep.
Yeah, I think after that New Jersey Motorsports Park race, where we ended up doing it at night, right?
It was very dark. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so I think
treacherous.
Anybody that's purchasing, sponsoring these tracks, and they're probably requesting a certain, whether, oh, we love night racing, but I wonder if that race might have given them second thoughts about that.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that's fun is if you sponsor a race, you pretty much get to pick whatever you want to. I don't think they like to repeat tracks, so it has to be a new track that we haven't been to yet here in the last couple seasons, but you pretty much get the pick of the litter that's left, and it's pretty cool to be able to pick some unique tracks that leagues typically don't like to step their foot into.
Yeah, you got to watch out if you tell JJ that, though, because he'll sponsor Chicago Street is his I was all about to say his home track, but it's not his home track, but it's just his favorite track in iRacing. In any league, he has the opportunity to do that, sponsor and pick the track. He'll pick Chicago every time. Just like for me, I'll pick Indianapolis Bike every time.
Love a moto track.
Yep. Nobody expects the bike track.
I was actually there. I think it was 2008 when MotoGP came back to Indianapolis. I was there. I was a wee lad, but I was there.
I unfortunately missed. I was actually living overseas at the time, so I missed all of the races. I think it was around for maybe a couple of years, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go to it," and then I kind of forgot about it. And then, before long, it was gone completely. So, yeah, I remember watching it on TV, but I never actually went.
Well, it was not a good weather weekend, I can tell you that much. We were standing at the top of the bleachers, and I about got blown off the back of them. It felt like a hurricane was rolling through Indy at that time, and it's kind of felt like a hurricane has been rolling around Lime Rock a couple times here tonight as well. Good battle happening between Schlosser and Matt Short here. Schlosser, of course, went off track and let Sanders and Short through, and now has rebounded to catch back up to Short, trying to get on the podium here.
Yeah, so I think Schlosser is just a little bit faster here. He's able to maintain that speed. Actually do have fastest laps here for tonight, and Matt Short just a little bit slower. Schlosser a little bit faster. The battle of Matts. We've got a lot of opportunity here to have a lot of Matts in this booth. come the podium and whatnot here. We could have 4 of them in here.
Well, we typically only interview the top 2 from each class here at the end of the feature race. So if Matt can get up to first and second, that would be an all-timer. We would definitely have to bring them both up here at the same time.
Yeah, Tommy is never going to be able to top that.
Certainly not. And that is by far the closest battle on the track right now.
Still keeping an eye on the battle for the lead of GT3, though. Not to cut you off there, but Gavin has brought that down to almost 3 seconds. Like, he was like a high 3 seconds, but now it's low 3 seconds. So he's cutting into that lead.
Yeah, him and Gunter have kind of been going back and forth. There's been quite a few laps. Sanders is about a half a second faster than Brody, and then Brody would come back and be a few tenths faster than Gavin. They've been kind of trading blows in lap times here for the last 10 to 15 laps or so. So it's been a good one to watch from that standpoint. As here goes Schlosser to the outside here in turn 1.
Ooh, I saw, while you're looking at that, I saw Gavin in P2 and GT3 put a little bit of side of the car into GT3, and there's about a second and a half now. Gap between the leaders there.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll go take a look inside the cockpit as soon as this one's over, but it's... Oh, no! Schlosser's around after contact with Matt Short.
Short's going to get away with that one.
Wow, and just as quickly as it heated up, that battle is now over.
Yeah, I did get a radio call on that. Let me see if I can get... I couldn't quite hear it. There was some jabber there after that contact.
And Matt Schlosser is going to go ahead and take his pit stop here. Probably a good idea, just getting a halfway point in the race. Allows him to get the damage fixed and regroup mentally as well to attack the second half here.
Well, I'm not sure why I couldn't... I saw a broadcast, a driver broadcast, and I couldn't get back to it.
Quite all right. We're going to go on board with Gavin Sanders. Next car in front of him is Brody Gunter. You can see how quickly the gap has shrunk. Be curious to see if Gunter maybe goes for a pit stop before Sanders can really catch him, or if Sanders opts to do that, or if there's any strategy there, if they're just going to duke it out here.
Yeah, whoa, that was a GT4. It looked like they missed the braking
still
zone.
Problems.
And yeah, wow. And now we've got Gavin Sanders battling for the lead there.
Yeah, Sanders ended up not having to work as hard for it. He already
and
worked
Gavin's
hard
going to dive in the pits there, so he's going to take that opportunity. Yeah, I was about to say before that there's really I'm guessing anyway that there's probably a really wide gap for a wide range for when you can pit at this particular track, wider than some of the other Grand Prix large tracks that we've done.
Yeah, I certainly think so. I mean, there's a couple of the tracks that there's really only been maybe a 2 or 3 lap window just for fuel purposes. So yeah, I mean this one you're going to be able to come in pretty much anytime you want to here. I think you can probably stretch it all the way to maybe even 10 minutes left in the race if you
that would be my guess. I mean,
so.
We might be wrong, but that would be my guess. So yeah. We're not out there driving, so we don't know the exact fuel intake of these cars. So
well, Sander comes in the last time. Gunter is going to follow suit. He is in this time around. Go ahead and go back to Sanders.
Yep, responding with the pit from Sanders.
And unfortunately, Sanders had to work through quite a bit of traffic here on this lap. We'll see where they come out.
It's going to be close, but I think that Gunter is going to have it. Or did he just get a bye? Gunter... No!
Gunter on cold tires after the pit stop. He loops it around there, and the left-hander Sanders is now right back up to him, but they have traffic in front in a GT4 car.
Yeah, so it did look like that was better for Gunter. Had a gap there, but suddenly he lost it. So had the right strategy idea, just cold tires possibly catching him out.
Yeah, I think it's certainly the cold tires playing a big role there. That left-hander on cold tires, a sweeping corner, any sort of sweeping corner like that is tough when you're on tires that are not up to temperature. So that's certainly probably what it was. And now Gunter has a heck of a task at hand here, trying to keep Sanders at bay.
Yeah, this is we're gonna have to. I don't think we're changing cameras on this one. We're holding on this one.
Certainly. And of course, on track right now, only a battle for 6, but will be the battle for the lead when everybody else comes down pit road. Kevin Burrows down pit road this time.
Gunter navigates through the Big Bend. Gavin Sanders just right on his bumper. Brody Gunter using all the track that he can. He dipping a little bit of tire into the grass at times. I think that Sanders just gets through that chicane as he's going to look inside.
Yeah, it'll be preferred.
Almost contact, but not quite.
Woo. He had the preferred line. Gunter's able to send it around the outside and hang on to it.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought that for sure Gavin was going to get around and that wasn't going to work on the outside there for Gunter, but it did. He made it work. Yeah, I thought there might be contact there too, but they did keep it clean.
Yeah, both of these drivers, really clean drivers, smart drivers as well. Great to see a clean battle here out front.
Yeah, I just felt last lap, but Gavin really fast through that chicane. You can just see he's like on the power and gets a really good jump.
Well, now
maybe not quite as good. Yeah, not quite as good this time. Obviously, with that traffic. Kind of what Gavin said in his interview there, though, is that he understands there's a lot of laps left. He's not going to force something.
Yeah, and I think we kind of saw that down into turn 1 after their last little parry. Oh, man, this is a boatload of traffic in front of them now.
Yeah, we had a car coming out of the pits there, very, very close to our leader.
Gavin tried to peek to the inside.
Yeah, you thought about it. More lap traffic.
Yeah, both of these two doing a good job of being somewhat selective of how they get around the traffic, even while battling each other.
Yeah, it's good when two drivers can respect each other like that. Brody knows that Gavin's not going to completely do something ridiculous with the lap traffic around.
And now these two are going to assume the positions of 1 and 2 finally. Alex Howland and Hunter Engrave came down pit road that time. Matt Short the lap before that. Only driver left in the GT3 class to not come down pit road is Brian Dees, who's currently scored in 3rd.
Brian Dees thinking the overcut strategy is going to work here tonight. We'll see how it develops. Did see, unfortunately, Rene Garcia disconnected, so he must have had an issue there.
Yeah, that's too bad. Renee's been very quick in that GT4 class all season long, but a bit of a tough night here for Renee.
I'm not sure. I don't think have the GT4s, have they? I wasn't keeping track of whether they had pitted or not.
Leaders have not come to pit. Quite a few of the drivers in the back half of the field have come down. But JJ Wang, who's your leader, he has not come down pit road. Neither has Ken Estep, Corey Rutherford, or Nate Morris, who are second, third, and fourth. Looks like everybody else has come down pit road right around when the GT3 drivers did. But the top four still have yet to take their pit stops.
Just FYI, Gerald Williams did come out of the pits here. So earlier tonight, I don't know if we mentioned that. I said maybe he's gonna, when he reconnected after his disconnect and missing the heat race, that he might come out here and set some laps and get some points here. And it looks like he has done so.
Yeah, you were certainly correct. Thanks for bringing that up. Failed to notice that myself. He's already made up one position on Casey Campbell there in that class, so looking to pick up some more points. Unfortunately, he is, I believe, 7 or 8 laps behind the rest of the field, although Garcia is now done for the night, so should be able to pick up 8th position, but gonna be have a hard time getting through anybody else unless somebody else disconnects here pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what it looks like there. Keeping an eye on that battle for the lead, though. It is still really, really close. Just a quarter of a second.
Another battle that's close is Matthew Short, who's going to make the inside pass on Brian Deese. Deese, of course, still has not come down pit road. And Hunter Engrave's going to get through as well. Engrave is caught right back, or has caught up to Matt Short, rather.
The leaders in GT3 did catch lap traffic at kind of an inopportune moment here for Brody Gunter, but they're just going to keep it first and second for Brody and Gavin there. Gavin did not try to force anything.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go to the cockpit here with Gavin Sanders. He tries to either force a mistake or make a pass here on Gunter. He's kind of settled in right on the back bumper, maybe waiting for some traffic to be able to maybe make a pick out of traffic or force Gunter into a little bit of a mistake to capitalize on that. But he's been fairly content riding right on that bumper of the 01 here for the last few laps. Oh, he's going to get caught up a little bit here. He's going to lose some ground.
Yeah, Gavin did. He hit that GT4 there, kind of on the not the best place, so did lose a little bit of ground there, but I think he'll be able to get right back up there.
Here's a battle between Engrave and Matt Short again. We're catching some traffic. Engrave trying to get around. And Joshua Rutherford's in the chat, says he doesn't get along very well with Lime Rock. And when you got fast cars like this trying to go around this pretty tight track, I can understand why. It has some required repairs to do here.
Yeah, I mean, we might have had to have done it back when in the MX-5s, but these are a little bit more car than the MX-5.
Well, a driver like me, I didn't get along with it when I was driving MX-5.
Even in the MX-5? So. Hunter Engrave let it look inside into turn 1. Really, really tight racing there between Short and Engrave.
Wow, Short.
Short?
Able to hang on around the outside.
Yeah,
you did not see that very often.
A little bit of contact there.
Wow, this has been a great battle.
And now Hunter's going to look inside into the chicane.
Some movement in the GT4 class as well. JJ Wang did come down pit road. He is the first of the top 4 to come down. So Ken Estep's gotten around him for right now.
This battle, Engrave and Short, still going on. Short going to defend on the inside. Engrave going to try to think about something on the outside, but then there was a little bit of contact, and he dropped back just a little bit.
Yeah, I was maybe trying to set up a little bit of an outside to in maneuver, hoping that Matt would kind of migrate to the outside there into the next corner, but the contact moves him back a little bit, not able to capitalize.
Ooh, that GT4 car had a little bit of an issue there.
Yeah, and I think that was Corey Rutherford, and Rutherford is in third in the GT4 class, so one of the podium positions there in the GT4 class, a problem for Rutherford off track.
Yeah, this battle between Matt Short and Hunter Engrave is a good one.
And unfortunately, Rutherford, he's going to end up jumping to the pits. Had yet to come down pit road, but now we'll have to wait for that tow time.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when you got to wait for that.
Pamela Engrave in the chat as well. Cheering on Hunter. He's putting on a show for us here along with Matt Short.
Always good to have some family support from our sim racers here.
Most certainly is. We have our usuals here in the chat every time a particular series is on the channel. And here goes Hunter to the inside. Should have preferred position here, maybe. No.
Let's stay strong. Some contact there.
Oh, Short off into the grass.
It looks like Hunter did slow up, though. He didn't want to gain that position like that.
Very commendable. Of course, those two pretty familiar with each other as well.
It was very gentlemanly there by Hunter to, not just, push him off track and just pass him. So.
Well, you could tell it was definitely a mistake. Matt just couldn't quite get going there, and Hunter didn't mean to get in the back of him that hard. This battle for first between Sanders and Gunter just keeps yo-yoing back and forth. It tightens up to a couple car lengths and then spreads out to 5 or 6. A little bit of a chess match going on up front here with just over 5 minutes to go.
And I see Matt Short doing a Benzie swipe on Hunter Engrave there into turn 1. But yeah, that battle for the lead. That's the two. It's good that the best two battles on the track, as Sanders having a little bit of contact, I think, with Mike Pepper there. Yeah, Gavin's going to drop back just a little bit there. Yeah, he's going to be over a second and a half back now, is Gavin from Brody Gunter.
Yeah, Sanders has dropped back quite considerably here. As Engrave and Short continue to battle.
Yeah, I was just back to looking at that. We've got a GT4 car. Did you see them disappear? I think that might have been a DQ.
I did not, but...
Okay, that might have been, who knows, as Short, they split a couple of GT3s, lapped GT3s. It was Dave Payton and Mike Pepper, I believe. Dave Payton on the mics did apologize for getting in the way there.
Wow, and you mentioned it. Great to have these two awesome battles to be up here in the front of the GT3 class. Engrave thought about sticking it underneath. Couldn't quite get there. Short's done a really great job of defending there into turn one.
Yeah, I do think that Engrave is faster, but it goes back to what we talked about all race in the heat race as well. To be faster than somebody's one thing, but to actually pass them is another. As Engrave's going to look outside, I thought that might be the better position, as we've seen. A bad bounce for Engrave's going to set him back.
Yeah, right over the turtle there for Engrave. Does a little wheelie over the turtle and off into the grass.
Oh, he almost lost it on the exit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think either the tires are a little bit dirty or they've heated up a little bit on him here. Wow, and back here, up front for the lead, Sanders has dropped back considerably from Brody Gunter. That gap is now 2.5 seconds.
I wonder if there's maybe damage on that car. I don't see anything, but we've been talking about that, how we don't see damage, but maybe inside the car there's a slight issue. But we'll see if it was just traffic and he's able to catch back up or what. But not much time to do it at this point.
No, only just over 2 minutes left. It'll be 2 or 3 laps to go here.
Yeah, 2 or 3 laps at most.
And haven't given too much love to JJ Wang here in the feature race. We've seen all the action here in the GT3 class, but when you're leading the GT4s by 24 seconds, it's just not a whole lot that we need to look at. But JJ Wang has been out front for a majority of this race after the first couple laps, and he is the class of the field in the GT4s by far here tonight.
So, bad news for Hunter Engrave, because the next lap after we saw that issue, he actually had another bad bounce through the chicane and actually spun out, and Josh Hagee got around him. So, tough break for Hunter Engrave.
Things go from bad to worse for Hunter. Maybe after the first one, he was trying to push just a little too hard to try to get back up to short there.
Yeah, I think Matt Short was playing some mind games or something with him, because he really got in Hunter Engrave's head. Yeah, over 2 seconds for Gavin, so I think Gavin's probably just happy to finish this one at this point. There's not much you can do.
Certainly not. It'll be the white flag when we come around the next time. And you can see Sanders there in the shot, but it's about 2 seconds back to that white Stowe Motorsports car. And speaking of leaders, here's the two leaders in the same shot. Brody Gunter getting around JJ Wang.
And now Sanders, and so this will be the last lap for JJ as well.
This gap has actually come down quite considerably here. Sanders has gained about a second.
Yeah, only about a second back there.
Might be too little too late, but putting up the fight nonetheless.
Just not to take anything away from Brody or Gavin, but I see Kevin Bonomi actually with the fastest lap of the race back there in, I believe, 7th position.
And coming around the final corner, Brody Gunter will take the checkered flag. for another race win this season. Sanders will finish second. And J.J. Wang, he's going to go 2 for 2 here tonight around Lime Rock. Matt Houston called it. He said he felt good about J.J. Wang in this track combo. And boy, was he right.
Yeah, well, Ken there is going to come home in second place in the GT4, still coming around. But good run for Ken down there in the second place on the GT4s.
Yeah, great run for Ken, and I think that'll give him the class lead for the points going into the final week of competition. Terrell Williams, we mentioned, was able to get back on track, was able to get past Rene Garcia to get to 8th. So salvage some points here tonight, but unfortunately going to lose quite a few there for the championship.
Yeah, about 3 more laps and he would have passed Corey Rutherford, but Corey holds on there in the pits.
And here's Brody Gunter. He's got the flashers going, looking for a celebration.
Yeah, I wasn't actually sure how you do donuts in these cars since they have traction control.
Well, he's trying to show us. Tommy and I talk about that every week, how it's difficult to do celebrations in these cars.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you do that. So, I mean, I never thought about it because I knew I'd never win, so...
Oh, and he's going to go for the reverse. He's moonwalking it.
Maybe that's the secret, I see.
A well-deserved one here for Brody tonight. Put up one heck of a fight to keep Sanders in the wings and then put the gap on Sanders.
Yeah, heck of a run by him. I mean, he had that pressure. He had the issue in the heat race, but in this race, when he had a full 40 minutes of pressure from Gavin Sanders, he was able to hold on this one for the big points.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and get to the finishing order here. We'll start out with the GT3 class. Go to the feature here. And it will be Brody Gunter who takes the win. Gavin Sanders comes up just a bit short after having to come from the back of the field. Almost gets it done. Matt Short is going to finish on the podium here. I believe that's the best run for Matt Short here in this season for ASRL competition. So great run from Matt there. Josh Heggie and Hunter Engrave will round out the top 5. Johnny Alford, who's fighting for the points championship as well, unfortunately is going to lose some here tonight. He'll have a tall task ahead of him next week at the Nürburgring. Kevin Bonomi finishes 7th, Kevin Burrows 8th, Alex Howland 9th, and Mike Pepper will round out your top 10. Brian Deese, Dave Payton, Joshua Rutherford, Matt Schlosser will round out the 14 starters in the feature. Caleb Bency and Eric Coons did not start your feature race here tonight. And then over to the GT4s. J.J. Wang, he takes it again. He goes 2 for 2 here tonight. Ken Estep gains a ton of points for that championship. He's got to be feeling good about that. We'll talk to those two here in just a moment. Christopher Flick, Nate Morris, Nick Batista round out your top 5. Fred Thompson, Corey Rutherford, Jarrell Williams, Rene Garcia, and Casey Campbell, your 10 finishers in the GT4 class here tonight. And we will get to interviews here in just a moment. We're going to go find Ken Estep. There he is. We're going to move him to the holding room. And we'll bring him back up into the booth. A great run here for Ken tonight. A little bit of a stumble there in the dash race, but you make a great comeback effort to finish second here in the feature race. Nice job.
Thank you much. I'm a little chagrined actually because I'm a little bit of the accordion in the first chicane. I'm looking at that right now, and so it's my apologies to all the GT4 class.
Well, it was tough here tonight. Tons of traffic to navigate through. For yourself, you have GT3 cars trying to come around you in tight confines. It was a tough task here tonight, and had to run a lot of laps here around Lime Rock.
Yeah, it was actually I was right at the incident limit. I was watching it very much that last 10 laps or so because again the early contact really and some door bumping too, which was unexpected.
Well, you do a nice job here tonight, and I believe that you are going to take the points lead going into next week. Unfortunately for Jarrell, couldn't even start the dash race, and then came in late there for the feature. How are we feeling with the points lead going into next week?
Extremely surprised would be the answer to that.
Well, you've been very consistent, so I don't know if it's any surprise to us. Matt, you got anything here for Ken?
Yeah, I'm just saying, congrats. Getting up there, you're going to be taking over the points lead. It looks like into next week. I believe it is the Nürburgring Grand Prix. Have you ran there before, or are you going to be needing to practice a lot?
Well, I think the answer to both questions is yes. I did get finally enough confidence in the past year to run one endurance race on the Nuremberg Combined, so I'm comfortable with the track. Competing on the track is another thing. So again, it'll be just about consistency and holding my line and having a good time with everybody out there.
Yeah, that might be a thing where I need to show up as a driver, not in the booth probably next week unless Tommy needs me again, but I might join you guys out there and finally learn that track on my own.
Just enjoy the flow, right?
That's right, yep.
Well, Ken, nice job here tonight. Who do you want to thank here?
Again, I want to thank ASRL for putting this on and giving us this opportunity. I got to thank my buddy Johnny Alford, with part of JK Racing, doing his job out there. You guys for doing what you do, and again, all the racers out there for letting me be out on the track with them. And again, apologies for the accordion effect starting in this one.
Well, not a problem at all. We're looking forward to next week, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
Alrighty, that was Ken Estep, and now we will bring JJ Wang into the booth for the second time. As soon as I can find him, here we are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he didn't move, did he?
Time.
Alrighty, and this is JJ Wang, the race winner again here in the feature race. You got it done, my friend. 2 for 2.
Yeah, hi there. Thanks so much. That was always some weird shenanigans happens to me in the feature, so I'm just glad that nothing weird happened this time.
You're right about that. It seems like you do incredibly well there in the dash race, and then something inevitably comes up and just grabs you out of nowhere in the feature. So able to get it done, and might I add, you got it done by 25 seconds here tonight. What is it about you and Lime Rock that just gets together so well?
Really, it's just this car with the types of turns that I just have hooked up with this car. I think I mentioned in the dash, really good on just high speed rotation. Just that. That's why you usually see me. I'm trying on the outside, is because just this car's rotation is just really good at high speed. It's much worse at lower corner speed. So chicanes, I missed it once or twice, or had trouble there, but just that final 2 sectors, and even just turn 1, you could really sense it, and it just rotates beautifully. So that's my secret. Just the car's really good. But yeah.
Matt, what do you got for JJ here?
Well, yeah, I actually do have a question. So my question is, did you get nervous when you saw Gerald Williams connected? And I have a follow-up after that.
Well, okay, so I will say, reliability has just seems to be a gremlin in the GT4 field. You always have to be nervous when Jarrell connects. He's quite fast. He's really good himself. So I guess it's just a flip from Kansas, right? Although he had issues throughout the round. So actually, condolences to him. I would rather win it fighting him, not on but yeah, I'll take it either way.
Yeah, so the reason I kind of asked that is I know you guys are usually battling for the lead, but he did take the fastest lap in the GT4, so that's why I mentioned. So he was
Oh,
faster
did he
than
really?
you. Yeah, he did. He had a 54.827, and at least according to my data, you had a
Ooh.
54.947. So that's
Okay,
all I
well,
got.
what I want to say to that is, I like I said, I think my car is beautiful in the sections that it makes it possible to pass, right? So setting up for the final two corners, I would have liked to think that maybe I could have had a run at that, but yeah, no, he's quick. No, no shade on Jarrell. You always have to be worried when he's in the field.
Yeah, he's good.
You certainly do. You guys have had some great battles, and maybe another one next week as well. We'll have to see. But great job here tonight, taking both wins here. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the boss man, Matt Houston. Seems like you're my good luck charm. Commentating here first time, and this is where I sweep, right? Graduated from only a sprint winner to a feature winner. I hope that.
Yeah, you were a sprint winner quick too. So
yeah, well, I hope that makes it better. I get a feature finally. Yeah, like I said, this is very sincere condolences to Jarrell. I suffered the same thing throughout the season, so I never like to see people just be out from technical issues or internet. It's terrible. So hope to see him back. My plans might come back next season. If he comes back, we'll have plenty to look forward to there. Thanks to you, Matt, and Turn 200 in general or Williamson, the other Matt, for the great broadcast. Yeah, you guys really make it entertaining, and all the effort kind of pays off. We love your stuff. Big thanks to Gavin Sanders, Matt Short. They were great guys to kind of be in the garage with, be on the radio with. And I heard that they had really good races as well, so I want to give a shout out to them.
Well, congratulations, partner. It was a great night for you, and I'll do the old Tommyism here for you. Go party hard.
Thanks very much.
Alrighty, that's JJ Wang, GT4 class winner, takes the sweep. And next up on our list of interviews, it will be Gavin Sanders, who just came up a bit short there. Almost had a double sweep, but couldn't quite find your way past Brody Gunter.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed coming back to almost front, and it was entertaining the whole way through, which is all you can ask for. And had a couple close, nice little racing moments with Brody, so felt like did everything we can, considering the track is literally a bull ring mind blender. So yeah, no, all around positive night.
Yeah, well, when you were coming up through the field and you eventually caught up to Brody after you had a little bit of an issue after the pit stop, it seemed all but inevitable that you get by him and go out and run good laps and take the win, but he's able to keep you at bay for a long time, and then you kind of started to fade just a little bit. I'm not sure if it was because of traffic. We kind of missed that watching another battle, but what happened there towards the end of the race?
Yeah, I think when one of the moments when I was lapping somebody, I was packed up behind Brody and just caught the sausage curb in the chicane a little bit. And not to say that caused me being slow. I did make a bunch of mistakes post that, but that seemed to be kind of the unraveling of me kind of making inroads on him. Seemed like he had the raw speed over me after that, and the traffic didn't obviously help, but that's just part of it. So nothing really much you can do on that aspect. But yeah, no, I think as a whole, pretty good job, all things considered. Looking at how everybody else shaped out tonight, just happy to make the finish. Never mind be here talking to you guys. So.
Well, I hear you on that one, Matt. What you got for Gavin here?
Well, good run. I saw a lot of respect from both you and Brody when you were racing each other pretty close there. I don't know. Any thoughts going into next week? We're going to be Nürburgring combined. I think you're pretty good there, right?
I would not call myself a Nordschleife nerd, but I would say I'm getting to the point where I feel like I have enough knowledge to at least hold on to some of those guys. So
You know, the correct word is JJ calls it a Nordschleife Gomer.
Whatever the hell a Gomer is. No, I think I've honestly, this upcoming week was probably the most excited one that I was looking forward to when I first saw the schedule. So I did one of the VLN or Nürburgring Endurance Series races not too long ago as well in this car. So feel like confidence will probably be pretty high going into that one. But obviously we'll see how it all plays out.
Well, we are certainly looking forward to it, partner. Who would you like to thank here from the second step on the podium?
Big thank you to Team Raceverse, Stowe Motorsports, ASRL for putting on an awesome multi-class sports car league, you guys for a great broadcast as always, and Matt for stepping in. Buy EchoBlade on Steam. I'm just going to drop it in there.
Always buy EchoBlade on Steam.
Exactly. Always on Steam, EchoBlade, you know what to do. And yeah, everybody for watching. I think my dad's still watching. I don't know. We'll something like that. Hi, Alan. But that's about that. I think that's everybody. So
well, congratulations again. You took one win, almost had another, but it was a great run and very entertaining for us. We appreciate it, my friend, and we're looking forward to seeing what you got next week for us.
Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Alrighty, folks, and with that, we're going to get to the race winner of the feature race. It is Mr. Brody Gunter, who held off Gavin Sanders for a long while there, and it was quite a show, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. It's good to finally be back in this league. It's been so long since I can't remember the last race I won.
Yeah, well, you certainly did a great job. You had a little bit of a hiccup there after the pit stop, a little bit of an off track, and Gavin pulled right up to you. And from our perspective, we thought maybe it was just inevitable that Gavin would get around you. Thought you might have some issues with the cold tires, and he was right behind you. But you're able to fend him off and did a whale of a job. How did you get that done?
I was just trying to focus on exit most of the time, make it where entry was fast enough to where you couldn't get my inside, and then I slowed a lot down center so I could get great exits. But the spin out, I didn't really change tires, but I don't know why the fuel tank made the cars lose so much grip when it probably should have made it have more grip because it's weighing the car down more.
Matt, you got anything for Brody here?
Well, we saw in the heat race you had an issue with some traffic. You had to make that fast repair pit stop. Did you have a like a meatball on that one?
Oh yeah, that GT4 killed it. It was a meatball, and I'm surprised it was, but not same time being iRacing, I really wasn't.
Well, I mean, my other question on that, for just following up from that, is like, did that help you kind of learn anything from getting through the lap traffic there, or is it just being patient?
No, it was more just preparing myself that when I was leading this one, that this could just end anytime.
It's like not taking it for granted, just leading each lap and enjoying it.
Definitely, yeah. I never try and count my chickens before it hatched because as Matt probably knows from Venom with Watkins Glen, you never know when it's just the universe is gonna say, nah, not today.
Yeah, you just never know. Sometimes it's completely out of your control. But you were in control of this one, my friend. Congratulations again. And who would you like to thank from the top spot of the box here?
Everyone at ASRL, and I guess you guys in the booth for broadcasting, putting on entertaining things to watch.
Well, we appreciate it, my friend, and very much looking forward to next week. I'll do the old Tommy Cook adage here and tell you to go party hard, my friend.
Thank you.
All righty, Matt. What a night. We had tons of action all night long, especially there in the feature. Some great battles up front. What did you make of all the action here tonight?
Well, going back to what we were kind of making the storyline, those drivers like Gavin Sanders, he made it through the field pretty easily. So did JJ Wang at the start of that race. But once they got through all of that, they still had to, pass somebody to make that move to the lead. So good on them for getting through there. Obviously, Gavin only got P2, but he still, had to make it through all that traffic. He was leading at one point in time. And Brody had a great race there. Awesome win for him after his unfortunate error there in the heat race.
Certainly, and we got a lot of people we like to thank here tonight as well. Everybody that was hanging out in the chat with us, Corey Rutherford, Joshua Rutherford, and Pamela Engrave. Thank you guys for tuning in and chatting with us here tonight, and anybody else that was watching. And one more big congratulations. One more big thank you to Matt Houston filling in for Tommy Cook here tonight. It was a pleasure, my friend. Great to get to share the booth with you for an entire program, and just great job, and looking forward to having you back at some point.
Yeah, it was great filling in for Tommy. It's good to be, usually when I broadcast, I'm doing what you're doing, where I'm having to control the camera, and then I'm also talking about the race and stuff. So it was kind of fun being out here, just as a kind of the color commentator, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, we certainly appreciate it, and maybe looking forward to getting you back out on the track next week as well. We'll be looking for you, but for tonight, that's going to be it. We do not have Maximum Velocity Racing League tomorrow. Their season is over. Andrew Schulte is your champion. However, we do have a premiere for a video. It is me and Tommy's, some of me and Tommy's favorite moments from 2023. I think there's 20 moments on there. There were just too many to choose from. A lot that we had to leave out, but you're going to get to see that. It is a premiere tomorrow night, so if you want to watch it live on the premiere, we'll be in the chat chatting with you while it's happening, so tune in for that. Friday and Saturday, we have the Turn 200 championship races. Friday will be the qualifying event, and then Saturday will be the main event. It is Gen 4 cars at Talladega. Yes, that's right. You're not going to want to miss it. All of the best drivers from the 2023 season here on Turn 200 will be there on Saturday. No broadcast on Sunday. It's week 13 for PMR. We'll be back next week on Monday for Formula Super Series, and then Tuesday and Wednesday is your regularly scheduled programming as well. So thank you for everybody here at Turn 200. Thank you to Matt Houston for filling in for Tommy Cook. And thank you to Tommy Cook for always doing all the logos and overlays and graphics and everything. He does a heck of a job. Missed him tonight, but thank you again. He will be back on Friday. And congratulations to JJ Wang for the big sweep here tonight at Lime Rock Park. And Gavin Sanders for winning the dash race. And Brody Gunter takes it in the feature for the GT3s. Have a good night, everybody.